Here with assistant coach Mike Chambers of the Ravens baseball team. Mike, will jump right into it. We've talked to Matt Walsh, Calvin Graves this week so far. Two all-conference guys, both right at the top of your lineup. How much easier does it make it to have those two guys in the lineup every day?
Well, Calvin starts the game off, so if you look back and look at the games we've won and you see if that first at-bat was productive, I can almost guarantee that every one was. Him putting up a productive bat to start the game is huge, and it was the same way when Hennigan was here and when others were here too. It's, it kind of starts the team in the right direction, and then when Walsh, he has big hits, home runs, doubles, and even when he swings and misses, people in the dugout are like, oh, he just missed that one, and think, he's dangerous. And when you got a guy like that with a guy like Calvin, it's a good mix.
All right, you and I were talking about this a little off camera the other day. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster season. Success has come in spurts, and then it disappears for a while. How does that change your approach at all going into the tournament, where there's maybe more question marks than there were at other points?
I don't think so. I think the way we go into this tournament, it was just played out. And we're going to need guys to step up. We're going to need guys to do that job, because if one or two don't, you can't win a tournament like that, because that's just not how they're set up. And so the best thing we can do is throw the guys that we think are going to do the job, and then after that, they have to do the job. And it's definitely, I've played some good games against some good teams. Took Tampa to the last out, and then we've also lost some games that we shouldn't have lost, and things like that. So, but that happens every year, and so hopefully, we just have to be on at the right time, and that's what it comes down to.
All right. Talk about the lineup approach, top to bottom. That's another thing that's kind of come and gone, but right now it's working really well. The team's putting up runs. Just talk about the approach and maybe what adjustments have been made to get them to where they are now.
The biggest thing is the two-strike approach. When we have good two-strike approaches, we win games, hands down. And we beat good pitchers, and we can score runs off good pitchers that way. When we have a bad two-strike approach, generally it doesn't matter how good the pitcher is. It's just a lot of Ks is no good, because then you leave a guy at third base with nobody out. You don't move a runner. It's just really unproductive. And sometimes these guys will get up there and they'll have 3K at bat, 3-strike at bats, and they're out, and it just kills the whole momentum. And when you foul off 6 or 7 pitches and get a hit or get a walk, it really gets everybody fired up, and it frustrates the guy on the mound. And that's the two-strike approach is going to be the key.
All right, and you do a lot with defensive positioning during games. Talk about the defense. They've been playing pretty well lately too.
Yeah, especially the outfield has been fantastic, and it's been they've gotten a lot better from last year, and Chris has done a good job kind of getting in there. We've been playing guys really shallow, and they're getting back on balls really well, and that's in the last stretch of the season there. That's helped a ton, because you get rid of those flares. Those balls that drop in, and all of a sudden, you're taking hits away from a game where, I know there was a couple base loaded situations against Felician and a couple others where balls could have dropped in, but those guys made great plays on them. And then Jabs has been playing a good third base, making some barehanded plays, and the middle's been solid. So, Mattio's been picking balls like crazy over there. And the defense is good, and we don't walk guys, we win. That's kind of the formula.
One thing I did want to ask you about senior leadership. This overall is actually a pretty young team. There's 3 or 4 freshmen starting out there every day, but your senior leaders are present. You've got Joe Flynn, who's been to 2 World Series. Now you got Matt Walsh, who's just a rock in the middle of the lineup. Talk about what you're getting out of those guys to kind of maximize the limited number of seniors you have.
Yeah, definitely. Those guys, especially Walsh and Joey, have been taking the young guys and kind of showing them the way, kind of making sure, letting them know what they're doing wrong, letting them know what they're doing right, on and off the field. And guys like Calvin, who's not a captain, but doing the same thing. He's been a great leader, helping guys out, telling these guys who've seen these pitchers throw before what they're throwing, what it looks like, what their tendencies are. Even Mattio too, doing the same thing. And it's been good for those guys, because 3 freshmen in your lineup, that could go either way. And luckily for us, we've got 3 good freshmen. And including Ruthie or 2 in that, who's been really good off the bench pitch hitting and starting some games. So those guys, we need those guys to do well now and later on. It's kind of similar to my first year here, when we had a lot of freshmen, but we had some older guys, and there was really no middle. So it was similar to that, and the good leader will make sure those guys get to where they need to go.
Okay, you mentioned your days here. Something we looked up yesterday. We knew it's the 10th straight appearance in the NCAAs for the Ravens. That's one of only 3 teams in Division II that has an active 10-year streak. As somebody who's been a part of that both as a player and now as a coach, what does that mean in the program?
Well, first it's remarkable, you know, that we're able to do that, and a lot of it is Coach King and his, you know, recruiting. And since I've been here as a coach, I've learned so much, and especially the recruiting side of it. You know, because as a player, you learn the game of baseball, and especially playing for him. And you know, I knew what I needed to know coming in, but the recruiting stuff and how hard he works, seeing every guy we can, getting guys in here, maybe taking a guy that has some upside, and we work hard. You know, so it's a combination of just getting the right guys in here and then just practicing hard and just working really hard.
Gotcha. Last question here. We've kind of been asking everybody this week. Keys for the Ravens going into this. What needs to happen to come away with a trophy this week?
The pitching needs to be there. You know, I've said this before. The offense will get you here, and the pitching will win here. You know, so during these regional tournaments, you only win if you pitch well. And you know, I got all the confidence in the world in Gleason and the other starters, and if those guys pitch the way they can, you know, that's what's going to be the difference. And obviously defense included with that, because generally these games, no matter. You know, we've come in here with offenses that do amazing things, and it's one-run games, it's 2-1 games, it's extra inning games. So, you know, those are going to be the keys.
There you go. That's assistant coach Mike Chambers. The Ravens open on Thursday against Dowling. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.